Welcome back, class. I'm Matt, your guide here on Y Caliber. We're playing the Fellowship role-playing game with our special guests. Tonight we're not joined by Smug playing Hesmak the Chrono Dwarf because he's off doing whatever, who knows, traveling the world. But we are joined by Shirley playing Lankris the Dragon. Hi, Shirley.
Hello.
We've also got noted author Stephen Siddall playing Caesar the Orc.
Hi, and I'd also like to note that it's, of course, the fact that Smug is running the Shadows in Seattle.
Obviously. I had forgotten that he was there.
Yeah, he texted me about how many shadows there were. It's quite a few.
And you just heard from Archimp Cola, or D. Davis, playing Bentley Humbass, the Harbinger.
No, that was Mike. That was Mike.
Someone chuckled.
I don't know how
me.
you could have confused me for
Wow!
Mike or
Wow!
No,
Look,
I
look
thought
at
your
this
chuckle.
offense.
I
am offended by your
quit
offense.
this game.
By your offense, D.
No, that's my bad. I mistook Steve's chuckle for your chuckle.
We're both so filled with life.
Oh, it's pretty bad being mistaken for Mike.
You're jolly gentleman.
I'm sorry, Mike. I don't think it would be bad to be you.
It's okay, D. Davis. We both like Street Fighter, and that's more important.
And speaking of being Mike, Mike's here as Rasheen, the heir.
I am.
And finally, we've got Clint playing Asgara the Giant.
Really happy to be playing with noted author Steven Seagal tonight.
Steven Seagal, yeah.
I got that one so much through school. All the time.
Glad I could take you back.
I imagine it's dropped in value with the ending of the 90s.
It continued straight on through high school, so...
He recently tried to do an Ask Me Anything, or one of his celebrity handlers.
I read it. Didn't go well.
The only thing people wanted to know is how bad he shit his pants when that mixed martial artist guy choked him the hell out. So that was he didn't answer the question.
Nope.
He wouldn't say.
Well, that would mess with his brand.
Brand of being a basement bargain Chuck Norris.
Damn.
It's not even something to shoot for either. I mean, considering Chuck Norris is also terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, speaking of brands, when last we left off, we had arrived at the heirs camp, where there are several fires, which you can use to heat up steel to make brands. Good segue, I know. Thank you. No need to praise me for that one. And when you arrived, one of your soldiers, one of Rasheen's soldiers, dropped down and said that they had believed you had been killed by the elves. And when you asked who had told him that, he experienced a moment of what appeared to be confusion and passed out.
Oh dear.
It's quite unsettling.
Is this the welcoming sleep? Is that what he's doing?
That is not normal for humans.
Indeed. Rasheen will quickly rush over to the side of his fallen subject, sure, and just examine him to see if he's still alive or what have you. So I'm going to
Look closely.
Yes, look closely.
All right. Do you remember how to look closely?
No, I'm going to admit my shame. I was trying to look it up, but I do not know the stat. I roll for that.
All right. To look closely, you roll plus sense.
Okay. Oh boy. Sense, my -1 stat.
Yeah. It's all right though.
I believe in you.
Always got to be 1.
You can't fail. Look closely, at least. There you go. So you can ask me 2 of the questions from the Look Closely list.
Okay. My first question is he alive?
Yes, he is alive.
He's alive. Okay. My next question is: Can I rouse him? Can I bring him conscious?
That's not something you can tell just by looking at him, unfortunately.
Okay.
Did you want to ask a different question? There's
yes.
a list under Look Closely that you can always look at.
Okay. Okay. So what's going on here? What seems to be the matter with him? What do my senses tell me?
Well, he appears to be completely healthy otherwise, but he is passed out, and you can actually feel a slight ache in the old wound that you have as you get closer and closer to your armsman's body.
I see. So, Rasheen takes a few more steps towards his guardsman's body, then steps back, clutching vaguely at the wound in his head. And as he kind of reels from it, he holds off a hand to warn the party, "Keep your distance. I sense the foul power of the Overlord at work here."
Dramatic sting.
Indeed.
Caesar on the piano.
I hope
Gara scanning the
he's that around
skyline.
his back. Yeah.
Oh yes, it would appear that the Overlord's hand is in this in some way.
Let me think. Who else might be able to sense or do something about the Overlord's presence?
It's only a slight ache. It's not the full-on burning you'd get if the
Full-on
Overlord were
burning.
here.
It's like a residual. More like he was here than he's actively here and screwing with us.
They.
Yeah, they. Correct. I'm gonna point out though that they is a plural, not a singular.
There's a singular.
So was
there
you.
as well.
Singular.
Sorry, Mike, you're wrong about that.
The royal day.
I don't agree with the standard on that. It's quite an active subject in the writing field. I will have you know.
It is. back and forth, but-
Merriam-Webster has put.
They can go fuck themselves.
All right.
Microsoft doesn't do it that way.
Whatever. I mean, you're wrong, so whatever.
More importantly, he's okay with being wrong.
It's all
I'm
right.
okay with being wrong when somebody with a lot of money is on my side.
I mean, language is an evolving and descriptive tool for communication, so you're wrong.
They're accepting they in MLA format and AP and CP and all that stuff. It's the new thing, much like in the 17th century when you was suddenly used to reference a singular you as well as a plural you instead of thou.
Maybe I should start using thou.
But maybe you should.
I have a long-standing record of being against change, and I'm not going to change that now.
Man, you should stop being against change because language is so useful if you let it evolve.
Speaking of evolution, let's see how this scene is evolving with the rest of the Fellowship.
Okay.
How do they feel? In this case, they being a plural.
It appears our humans are down with a sickness of some sort, Overlord related. Are any of you mind doctors or whatnot?
Mind
I don't think
doctors?
mind doctor's an actual trade, but
No. I'm sure I read that in a book somewhere a long time ago.
Maybe the Guaduin have mind doctors.
Maybe the Guaduin do have mind doctors. I've got. I mean, I'm a magic guy. Hold on a second.
You are a magic guy. That's an accurate description.
Mind doctors.
What was that about mind doctors?
Dragons certainly don't have any.
They don't. Oh. It's too bad. Maybe they'd be less lonely if they did.
I'm kind of a magical doctor. I could use one of my... Actually, Rasheen's just faking it.
Well, Bentley, I think I
Whoa,
speak for
are you victim blaming me, Bentley?
No, I'm claiming you're lying and faking
I'm
your
sorry.
fear.
I'm sorry. That's gaslighting. I stand corrected.
I think I speak for all of us when I say that.
Gaslighting would be if I was trying to convince you that you were faking it.
Are you saying you're not?
No, I'm just holding a belief.
He's being Dr. Bentley Humbatz, MD,
I'm being house.
magical doctor.
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Escara?
Oh, the moment has passed.
You do hear voices from deeper within the camp, so it appears he's not the only one of your armsmen remaining.
Well, in any case, whatever has happened to him, we simply can't leave him here. We should get him back to camp and investigate further.
All right.
I don't disagree.
Anytime
Yes.
you get closer to him, Rasheen, you do feel that ache. So
Okay.
if you're
Maybe
okay
somebody
with
else
that,
should carry him.
all right.
I'll throw
Caesar.
him over a shoulder.
Okay.
I've
Asgara
heard
hefts.
feelings about trusting my comrade to the human-killing machine, but okay.
I've barely killed any of your kind, only the thin ones so far, without all the meat.
Okay, so if you'd like to progress deeper into the camp, you can move your tokens where you will. Hesmac goes to sit in a tree, I guess.
You gotta look at him in the tree and say, "Oh, Hesmag, you and your get rich quick schemes."
He's heard that the leaves of these trees will fetch a mighty price back home. Okay. So, you get to the middle of the camp. You see a bunch of people around a fire over in the east with their little tents. And just over here, you see what Rasheen will recognize as his command tent. The fire out front is not alight, but there are two familiar figures currently staring at you, agog. My liege! My liege?
Indeed, it is I, and I'm guessing I'm looking at Azara's and Shaida, I believe.
Yeah, that's them.
Okay, yes. Rasheen just simply, I guess, poses regally and asks of his two
Shit, it's
subordinates.
JoJo's now.
Yes. Suddenly sprouts a giant pair of shoulders, and yeah. What is the meaning of this? He gestures to the unconscious man and to the general state of the camp.
Well, Shaida approaches you, eyes narrowed. Still has her hand on her blade. How do we know it is truly you, Your Highness? We were told you had died.
Told by whom?
By... Shaida puts a hand to her head and looks briefly faint, but then, unlike the guard that you met at the entrance, recovers herself. It's unimportant. You could
In
be a
any
spy.
Could I? Really? Even if I possess this? And Rasheen will display his sword and signet ring.
They gasp, duly impressed. Truly, it must be you, they say, taking a knee. Your Majesty, thank goodness you have returned to us.
No shit, Rasheen, you just got iced. You gotta drink a Smirnoff right now.
Oh, damn. I have returned, but I am not pleased. And Rasheen will gesture for their what's that elf that's following us?
Born.
Born. He will gesture for Born to come forward.
Shaida draws her sword and levels it at the elf. Stay back! Careful, your majesty.
They are an ally.
Rasheen holds his hand out. Be at ease, Shaida. We have in fact just returned from the elf village where they have informed us, or accused rather, that you burned and kidnapped their people.
Well, of course we did.
And you did this because?
Because they killed you.
And yet here I stand.
But it's impossible. We haven't carried out the ritual yet. How is it that you're alive?
What ritual?
The resurrection ritual.
The resurrection ritual. Quick aside, do I know anything about this, Arp?
It's nothing you've ever heard of, no.
Nothing I've ever heard of. Rasheen then looks curiously towards Bentley, as he does with all things magic.
I'm sorry, what?
Resurrection ritual? Ever heard of it?
Well, I wish. I mean,
I'm pretty sure it's the same thing that Linecrest used on our maker.
What now?
Now, Bentley, you will have heard of a resurrection ritual, but not as something that can actually be accomplished. It's more like a fairy tale.
oh yes, we were doing we were doing all sorts of fantastic research in our 6 sky pillars, but that was a bit beyond even our grasp. It could perhaps be done at some point, but I'd really have to knock one out of the park there, and well, I don't think I have the research materials available to me to figure it out on my own. I'm sorry.
No,
But,
it's fine, Bentley. You've told us more than enough.
But that can't be. The halfling told us that it could be done.
A halfling, you say?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Is the halfling still here?
No, the halfling went to gather the rest of the materials for the ritual. It won't be long. We have all the things we need. We have the elves that we can drain them of all their blood, and then we can use their bones to create a poultice.
Somebody might want to be holding Born back while they go through this.
Born's not looking pleased. No. And then they just require the great crystal that is apparently in these parts, and a few types of moss for flavor.
It is fortunate then that you need no longer perform this ritual.
Oh no, but we must bring our king back to life. He's dead, you see. The elves killed him.
I do see.
And yet I am not dead, therefore you need not perform such a ritual.
Shaida and Azaris are sort of... They seem deeply confused. Like as if they're trying to have 2 completely disparate views at once.
Bentley, I believe my people may have been ensorcelled.
Yes, it seems that way. They're acting quite ensorcelled, I'd say. It's like they barely recognize you.
We're like off having a team huddle now, suddenly. Well, how do we break ensorcelment?
Some of your other followers come over and see you, and they also bow. You know, they take a knee. Oh, your majesty! Thank goodness. You can help us complete the ritual to bring you back to life.
Yes, certainly. However, at this time, it is my utmost desire and command that you all stay right here and do exactly nothing until I return. Give us a moment, please.
Of course, my liege.
So Rasheen's going to go.
Yeah?
Your people are monsters, Born says angrily.
They have been misled and misguided by sorcery. I sympathize with your plight, but I do not believe my people were in full control of their impulses.
No, it's pretty clear they're being bamboozled by the Overlord.
I have no proof, but it feels as though this is similar to what afflicted the halflings.
Yes, corruption. Suppose I could try and, fix them.
Perhaps if we were to claim to assist them in performing this ritual, when in actuality we are, instead of the resurrection ritual, we are performing a ritual to free them of corruption with Bentley. And if we can perform this before the halfling returns, we may yet break the Overlord's pall over them.
The crystal they mentioned is of interest as well.
Indeed. Bjornborn, know you of this crystal?
Crystal, no. There were stories once told about the woods around here of there being a beacon of some sort, but could that be it?
In truth, I have not heard of such legends before, but perhaps.
I said
However,
that it was an artifact, a beacon that belonged to the First Peoples.
the First Peoples.
Yeah, you know, the First Peoples, the ones who created us, the elves.
That would be...
Is that a species we know of, or is that just...
Yeah.
The First Peoples would be something that you may have heard of in passing if you'd researched ancient history. But again, they're considered more mythical than anything else.
I see. In any case, as interesting that is, my immediate concern is the life of your fellow elves, Bjorn. I believe we can save them if we carry through with this deception.
With killing them? I don't know
No,
about
not
you
with-
humans, but if you drain all the blood out of an elf, they die.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean, we attempt a different ritual.
Okay. What about this halfling guy they talked about?
Seems he is currently out in the woods. It's imperative that we break the sorcery before he returns. Then we will have the entire settlement on our side.
Okay.
Perhaps first we should ascertain as to where Bjornborn's fellows are.
Indeed. Okay. I will demand my people take me to see the captured elves, and hopefully we can establish their location from there and then decide what to do. Bentley, what would you require to prepare a ritual to cleanse my people?
That's a good question.
I'll say 5 gallons of elf blood.
How many elves you got? No, I probably don't need much. I mean, I've got the power of the world's ley lines coursing through me at all times because I'm great and not entirely a slacker who doesn't think things through.
Yes, that's very good to know, as I have always been able to trust you to come through when the odds are against us.
Yeah. I mean, if you pick one, I could probably make them actually break their fog by just trying to talk some sense into their wood-rotted noggins.
Indeed, so perhaps it would be best to accumulate them all in one location so that you could work your wonders over them.
Yeah, or pick your favorite.
Okay.
Either one.
Well, Azaris is the most loyal to me. I suspect he would be the easiest to turn away from the Overlord's curse.
You know what? Let's go see if he wants to learn some things about you not being dead.
Very well.
Assist you.
Rasheen will go back over there and request. He'll just say, Azaris, with me, please. I would know what has transpired while I have been gone.
Of course, Your Majesty. Anything for you.
Yes. This way, please.
As we drag him away from the congregation, Bentley will reach a hand across his shoulder and say, "What's his name? Azaris?"
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
It's so close to Asgara. I didn't want to get. I didn't want to be like, "Hey, buddy, you got the same name as my other buddy." I will try to talk sense. I will speak so smoothly. I will say, "Hey, do you realize that you are being completely controlled by a force beyond your imagination? And you need to focus up and look your king in the eyes and get your head in the game, Azaris. You need to stop being so dumb and start being so fierce. Help us out." I guess I'll talk sense to him.
All right.
Can I use my bond with Azaris to assist this in any way?
Sure, if you want to. I'd say that I would give you an advantage, and Bentley could roll with hope or something.
Okay. Sounds great.
So I will talk sense with my wisdom because I'm appealing to their emotions and their desires, or would it be detailing my plan and their place in it? I don't know.
Go with what feels right. You're saying wisdom, so go with that.
Yeah, okay. I'll go with wisdom. Bentley is such a good salesman. Now, if I could...
Now let me tell you about this timeshare. It's on Hobbit Mountain.
All right.
It's now beachfront property.
Make sure that's the right number. Should be. I don't think it's damaged. Just let me double check. I got character notes. Okay, yeah, my sense is not the uninjured one, so this is indeed wisdom. Whapow!
Nice. So that's a 10.
Yeah.
And a 10 says, let's see here. On a 7+, they do as you ask, the best of their ability, and you don't owe them a favor. So you've asked him to snap out of it, right?
Yeah, I've tried to push the fog from his mind, if only to let him see that Rasheen's totally alive and he can totally help us. Not murder elves for no good reason. Yes.
Azaris he looks at you blinking, and it seems as if his eyes become a few shades lighter. And then he looks over at Rasheen and blinks again. But I don't... You're dead. That's why we're killing the elves.
It was a lie, my friend. A lie told to you by the Overlord.
If the Overlord were here, surely we would have known. I mean, there have been some people who came through, but no great evil creatures that we could see.
He may not have been here in person, but we have found he acts through agents who can be hard to discern. Yet, I felt through the presence of my scar that his power has certainly visited this place in my absence.
Who's this he you're talking about?
They. Sorry.
Oh, the Overlord. Oh, yeah.
Yes, they.
Oh, okay.
Oh, them.
The ensorcelment. Them. They. It.
I wonder, could it have been that That halfling man. Yes, the halfling came to our camp and he told us that the elves had killed you, and that the only way to bring you back was through a resurrection ritual that required elf blood and bones. As well as a few other components that he said he was going to get further to the south, close to the border.
How many days' travel would that be?
Oh, it wouldn't be too far, a day at most.
And how long has he been gone?
A few hours.
A few hours. Seems then we may yet have time to set this aright. Tell me, Azaris, where are the elves being kept?
Oh, they're just behind the tents in the southeast of the camp. We have them in cages there. But you're... His eyes begin to darken again. You're dead.
The enchantment is powerful indeed. Rasheen will grip Azaris by the shoulders and say, think, focus, Azaris. You are my most loyal subject. Through your machinations, I survived the terrors of the usurper as he slew my parents. You are stronger than the sorcery that has been cast over you. Awaken! Your king commands you.
My lord, Azaris is clutching at his head, and blood is beginning to leak from his eyes.
Oh, that's bad. That's
the blood
bad.
Looks tainted somehow.
Oh, that's gross.
Even Lankrist is set back.
Let it out,
Definitely
young
not
man.
even
Let it
eat
all
that.
out.
I'll need a drill and a maple syrup tap.
Sounds great.
I can fix this.
I hope you can. Someone, please help him.
You may want to see if one of you is sensitive to magic or the Overlord's presence or something. Maybe there's a way that you can find out where this is coming from or what's causing it or what the case might be there.
Well, I recently, when I leveled up, I think I leveled up last time, I'm pretty sure, I picked the evil eye above to help me out, to sense that Overlord when he's approaching, so I'm kind of sensitive to the Overlord.
Okay.
I want to know what they're thinking. I want to go on a date with the Overlord.
You're quite sensitive to its needs.
Well, the Overlord clearly has not been here, but there is something that feels like the Overlord's power, and it appears to be emanating, as if it were coming from somewhere.
Well, we should follow our nose, as a wise toucan once revealed to me in Harbinger class.
Perhaps the key to my people's freedom lies in destroying this source, and not in removing the curse from them individually.
Yes, that's yeah, probably.
Well,
I mean,
I'm sorry. I just felt compelled to explain this in case we were somehow being watched by.
It's a good idea as any, Rasheen. I'm totally down with this, man.
Well, as always, I'm glad to have you at my side, my friend.